You are listening to an interview with a featured Pride of Dakota member.
Hi, this is Sarah Kelsch, and today I'm sitting down with Paul Anderson with the North Dakota Grape Growers Association. Welcome, Paul.
Oh, good morning.
How are you?
Doing just fine. Nice to be here.
Good. We're happy to have you on. So tell us all about the North Dakota Grape Growers Association.
Well, the North Dakota Grape Growers Association was started in 2006. There, for many years, had been some guys growing grapes in North Dakota, and started in 2006. There was enough people, they thought they should have an organization, mainly for educational purposes, to share information that they had amongst them and with other people, and that's what we do mainly in our organization. Right now, we also have done some legislative things and are trying to develop the grape growing industry, and along with that, the winery industry in our state. We've gotten involved in looking at agritourism as a big part of the winery grape growing industry, and tried to get into that area.
Sure. So how do you grow grapes personally yourself?
I grow some personally. I'm probably what you'd consider a hobby grower. I have started out with 20 plants, and I've got close to 50 now, but we also have a lot of people that are in the commercial business where they're growing, an acre or more of grapes too.
So how is it? Obviously most people don't think of North Dakota as the place to grow grapes. Is it a hard crop or plant to raise here?
There are some varieties, certainly in North Dakota, what you look at is cold hardiness. They got to be cold hardy, and but there are varieties that have been developed in University of Minnesota, actually some out of South Dakota, that do grow in North Dakota. And we've been also doing working with NDSU, and NDSU is doing some research on grape plants to see which ones do well in North Dakota. And not only once you look at getting them to grow, then you got to get a good grape for making a product like wine or the jellies and jams and things like that.
Right. So how many growers are there in North Dakota growing grapes?
How many growers?
Yep.
We haven't got an exact number. There's probably 40 or so actual vineyards in North Dakota that we're aware of, and there's a lot of other people like myself who are in the hobby side of the business. So, but there's probably 40 or so that could be considered true vineyards. And
are most of those, raising grapes to provide to separate wineries to produce wine? Are they kind of dabbling with the idea of producing wine themselves? What are they doing with their grapes? Many of them are growing them and then with the idea of selling them to a winery. If you get into commercial side of the business, you're growing an acre of grapes. That's way too much. That'd be way too much wine for personal consumption. Right.
You'd have to have lots of friends.
I'm sure you can make some if you're making that much wine.
Yeah. But both. We have actually 8 wineries in North Dakota, 6 of which are mainly grape, where grapes are their main wine production. Now, the other wineries make other fruit type wines. The other 2 are more fruit type wine. But so with 6 wineries, they require some grapes if they're going to be in the commercial business. So that's where the grape growers come in and supplying to these guys, and hopefully we'll develop more wineries throughout the state too. Sure.
And so the purpose or the goal of the Grape Growers Association, you touched on it a little bit. It's legislation. What else do you guys work on as an organization?
Well, certainly education. Like this weekend, we have our annual meeting and conference, and in our conference, we do a lot of training on grape growing. This year is going to be grape growing and winemaking. We actually even get into social media, where you got a guy talking to us about advertising, marketing our products.
Oh, perfect.
So we're looking at that, and we're going to have a grape growers panel where we'll have growers and winery people on a panel, so the attendees can ask questions and things like that.
So who's the conference open to? Can anybody attend if they have any interest in?
Absolutely. It's open to the public. You can register at the desk. We start at registration starts at 8. It's this Saturday, February 4th, at the Radisson Inn in Bismarck. And meeting starts at 8:30. We have a conference, a lunch, and then a conference all afternoon, a meeting, end with our annual meeting, and then do wine tasting and have a banquet.
And is there a fee for that?
Yep, the registration fee if you're staying for the dinner and everything is $70.
Okay. And so even if you're interested in maybe pursuing the winemaking business, or maybe you just want to learn more about wine, anybody can come?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So what does the future hold for your organization? Do you guys have upcoming legislation you're considering, going after, or just want to increase the awareness of the wine industry and grape industry?
Certainly want to create the awareness of the industry, but then also I think you touched on it. People are a little surprised to even know you can grow grapes in North Dakota. Many people are, so it's getting that awareness that we can do that, and that there are wineries in the state.
Do you anticipate more wineries opening as a result of more people growing grapes?
Yes, we have other people that are looking into it. It's the process of getting a winery. As you know, anything dealing with alcohol, there's quite a bit of licensing and inspection, whatever that has to go on with it. So you have to get a federal license, and then you also need a state license to have a winery here in North Dakota.
And that's kind of a long procedure, isn't it? I mean, it takes...
Yes, it is that's exactly what it is. It's a procedure. You have to go through every step of getting your license from the federal, and you need license to make the wine, and then from the state you get a license to produce it here in the state and sell it. And there's some restrictions too on if you want to be classified like a North Dakota winery. You have to, over time, get up to 50% of your product has to be grown in North Dakota. That goes into your wine. So again, from the grape grower standpoint, we'd like to see some wineries, and that requirement to have grapes from North Dakota leads to more volume. So
right. You also touched on the agritourism aspect of both the wineries and the vineyards. Is that something that is happening right now, or is that something you guys are working towards achieving?
We're doing both. We're working with the tourism department on ideas of what we can do. We this last fall in September did a tour. Started here in Fargo at the Bear Creek Winery, and went down to Fort Abercrombie, which is a historic site close to here. Then went over to a winery in Prairie Wood Winery in Elliott. Then up to Fort Ransom, which is another historic site, and looked at that. And then visited the Red Trail Vineyard and Agassiz Shores Vineyard and the NDSU Arboretum, coming back to Bear Creek for a dinner and whatever. But that was kind of tying grape growing and winery in with other historic sites in our state, and that kind of tourism we'd like to see get started.
Right. Was that a successful tour? Did you have many participate?
Yes, we had right at 100 people. We had 2 buses, and it was very successful. Had a little cool day, but it was a nice day for looking at North Dakota. Got to drive up the Cheyenne Valley in fall of the year, and so it was a very we felt very successful program. That's one of the things that we see as membership wise in our organization. We're less than 100 members, but when we have events like this, even like our conference this weekend, we would expect about 100 people to show up. So we get
So
a
there's
lot of non-member people at our events.
right. There's a lot of interest out there then, huh?
Yep.
Okay. So how do people find out more about not only the conference this weekend, but about what the North Dakota Grape Growers Association is all about? Do you guys have a website or anything?
Yep. It's ndgga.org for our website, and you can go there and learn about our organization, as well as there's some resources there for study and whatever. And you can also register for this weekend's conference right on site there. And it has the agenda and that kind of thing that you can look at.
Perfect. Well, it's been great having you on today, Paul. Good luck at your conference this weekend.
Well, thank you very much. And we certainly appreciate the opportunity to take part here and to be on your program.
Thanks, Paul.
Yep. Bye, Sarah.
To learn more about this featured Pride of Dakota member, visit our website, prideofdakota.com. To become a featured Pride of Dakota member, send an email to prideofdakota@gmail.com. To listen to the full podcast of North Dakota Now, click on the podcast link on our website, prideofdakota.com. Thanks for listening.